So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Accelerated Graphics and Science 101 East Renfro, Sweet Sand, Burleson, Texas can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make you stand out from the crowd? Accelerated Graphics and Science can handle anything you throw at them. Located at 101 East Renfro Street, Sweet Sand, Burleson, Texas. Go in and see them. Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leech Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson, Cleveland, Texas. Leech Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Okay. Hey, Michael, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. I can hear you good.
Perfect. I want to make sure I've got my technology set up just fine. Guys, welcome to the Jobfather, Jobseeker Network Radio, where you guys can learn all you want to know about getting a job. What does it look like in our mostly post-pandemic world? So, guys, I want to ask you guys, if you would, go to LinkedIn and pull up Joco Community Radio. We have a web page, and we want you guys to follow us on LinkedIn. Like and follow that thing. We are here every Friday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. So, hello, Josh and you guys that are out in Atlanta, I got a text from you a while ago. Thanks for being with us today. And we are going to have Victor Miller, who is who is the recruiting manager at Optivize. He's going to tell us some things about what's going on at Optivize. After we do a few things here, he will be with us. He is having some difficulties getting on, it looks like. Um, but he will be with us soon. In the meantime, we will always start off this show with a word of prayer. So if you guys would bow with me real quick. Father God, we are all over the nation. We are looking for that right opportunity. We want that opportunity to come from you, and we want to understand that that opportunity comes from you while we're looking. And when we get that opportunity, because we will, the job market is absolutely booming, even here in the summer. We want to ask you to be with us on that new job that we're going to get to so that we can successfully do everything that we need to do on that job. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, guys. Dana is on vacation. She's having a good time. She's out of town, and it's just going to be me. Oh my God, it's just going to be Foster today. Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? So we've got Mez with us as always. We've got Mez. Hello, Mez. Hello, Josh, and the folks out in Atlanta, and everybody else that is listening in. If you guys want to chime in, if you have questions, especially you corporations might have questions as we talk to our geologist friend there, Michael Doherty. That's him right there on the second part of the show. We'll be talking with Michael and finding out what in the world does a geologist do? What are some of the applications and things that you guys might want to think about and hire Michael right away? You know what? Michael's available right now, guys. He doesn't have to even put in 2 weeks notice. He's ready
No,
to
sir.
go. He's ready to go right now. I'm glad my headset is working. I've been having some technical difficulties getting this headset working. So all right, guys, let me give you, while we are still waiting on Victor to communicate with us, let me give you guys a JOCO information spotlight. Okay, let me tell you all about JOCO Community Radio. JOCO Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County. Now, we're streaming radio, guys, and we are live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen or watch, you can see us, all of you folks that are watching on YouTube. Just go to tuneinjoco.com. That's tuneinjoco.com. TUNEINJOCO.com, all together, to choose where and how you want to do that. The JOCO Community Radio app is now available for free, guys. Free 99 on Android and iOS devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more on jococommunityradio.com. All together, jococommunityradio.com. This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, guys. Is making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, my friend Nona Reed, guys. Now, I'm going to give you Nona's phone number. I hope she don't get mad at me for doing that. I don't think she will. So, Nona's phone number is 844-839-4245. Let me tell you that number again. 844-839-4245. That is Nona Reed, guys, is our main lady to call. Okay, you want to find out you want your insurance to work for you, call Nona. She'll tell you some things about your insurance you never even thought about. Okay, I said hi, Mez. Then the hi, Mez, I see. And yes, he has been looking. I've been talking with Michael. Mez asked a question. She says, "Has Michael been looking in the oil and gas industry?" That's where he comes from, actually. Mez, I was going to suggest that he connect with you on LinkedIn and you guys have a conversation. So, awesome. I'll make sure that you guys do that. And Michael is going to be with us, as I said, for the second part of the show. we're going to be talking about. That's our Job Seeker Spotlight. I want you guys to know who it is and what it is that you need to know and who you need to. I don't endorse everybody. I'm a nice guy. I don't endorse everybody, but the people that come on this show, I'm a strong endorser of. So I want to congratulate Guinevere Gruber. She's our lander of the week this week. Guinevere has been part of she is there's Victor. She is a graduate, a recent graduate. She's graduated about 2 months ago. Her job search did not last very long at all. So that is thumbs up for you folks that are coming out of school. If you get involved in the network, guys, there is a lot of things that are out there for you to learn and a lot of opportunities. So Gwen is a program coordinator for Overhead Door Corporation. A lot of you guys are familiar with Overhead Door. So, yay, we call her Gwen, but her name is Guinevere. I love that. Guinevere Gruber, Gruber. Connect with her. Tell her, hey, I heard that you landed a job over at Overhead Door, especially if Overhead Door is one of your target companies. Guinevere would be a wonderful person for you to connect with. Okay, good. So we've got my friend, there he is right there, Victor Miller with us. And guys, hey, you can hear. Oh, good. I just wanted to make sure you were in there. Perfect. Sound wise, guys, Victor is a national recruiting manager at a company called Optivize. Now, it was formerly Performance Matter Associates. That's PMA USA. Did I get there? I got that right, didn't I, Vic?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something about Victor, guys. I have been friends with Vic for a long time. He's been putting up with me for a long time. And you know what? We talk about Cali Matters. He's originally from California, so we have Cali Matter talks. We get together, but you know what, guys? For years now, a number of years, probably 10 or 12 years, Victor has been involved in the network and helping folks learn what they need to learn about getting a job. Now, being a recruiter, which I am, we have a lot of things to talk about and people to talk about. It's pretty fun. So, Vic, tell us a little bit about Optivize and what's going on over there. And of course, we want to know opportunities that you might be recruiting for right now.
Okay. Well, Optivize is the sales and marketing side of Washington National. That's not the same as Washington Mutual. Washington National, which has been around since 1911. We're headquartered in Carmel, Indiana. And we have been in this insurance market since then. Now, formerly PMA, Performance Matter Associates, was when I first joined 8 years ago. And I'm a national recruiting manager for them. And we go all over the country recruiting agents. Now, it's a little bit about the agents that we recruit. We usually have contracts with the state that we're recruiting for, the local governments of some of the major cities, as well as the school districts. And we do supplemental insurance for those different entities. So we go out to the employees. So it's not major medical, it's supplemental, like cancer, heart and stroke, accident injury, intensive care, critical illness. A lot of people say, oh, you're like Aflac. No, we're not like Aflac. They're like us. We've been around since 1911. So we do sell a lot of the supplemental. We're always looking for people all over the country. I'm always taking resumes. I've had a lot of people who reached out to me on LinkedIn, and which is really, really phenomenal. You know, one of the other places that I recruit from is, you know, I had to get with the Joneses and do Facebook.
That's right.
I created a page, gosh, back maybe 10 years ago, Jobseeker Support Group. It was of Collin County, the county. We've got people all over the country joining it. Do I change the name or just keep the same name? But people are just joining it, and recruiters can post on there for free, and they're getting some results. So I don't have a problem people posting the jobs that they're looking to fill as well. So, but yeah, like I said, right now I'm recruiting for the East, Maryland, Virginia, DC, but I'll take a resume anywhere and see if that state manager needs it. So I work close hand on hand with those state managers. We do one-on-one training. We usually only contract between 6 to 8 people at a time, which is a little different from most insurance companies. We're doing 35 to 50 people at a time, and they throw them in a room and train them on a chalkboard or a whiteboard. We actually take our agents out in the field and show them how it's done one-on-one. We have managers go with them, showing how the 3 different ways that we sell. One is doing enrollment, going out to those different companies and doing their enrollments, and they'll show them how it's done, and they're getting paid as they're selling and learning at the same time. The second way is we will go out and show them how to do telesales. Telesales is basically, if I met with you at a school and maybe I sold you a cancer policy, but you're sitting on the fence about the life policy, I follow up with you, say, yeah, I want to do it now. Instead of driving back to the location, you can send them a link. We can do the application via almost like a Zoom call or like the call we're on now. And we can get a verbal signature from them, click submit, and be done. So that's kind of cool to be able to do that. And the third and final way is just doing business development, talking to business owners and see if they will allow us to be able to sell to their employees. Right now, restaurant owners, mom and pop shops are very hot. A lot of their staff has not come back to work since COVID, so they're on a bone skeleton crew.
Skeleton crew.
To pay these people, the kind of money they really deserve, but they just really can't afford it. Everything's gone up. The produce and everything's gone up. So a lot of their employees are working open to close almost 6-7 days a week. So to be able to allow us to come in and give benefits, it doesn't cost the owner anything, but it's just a nice way to be able to say, hey, I'm thinking of you. And our cancer policy is $50 a month, $25 a pay period. John Doe, blue collar person can afford that. And it covers not only the employee, it covers their spouse and up to 10 kids for that. So we really try to get in and do a good job. I've had a really, really wonderful success in LinkedIn, people reaching out. I had to take down my I'm hiring sign because it was going a little too fast, but people are still reaching out, and that's good. And now I can manage it by just people reaching out and doing things like this as well. What else you like to know? Want to know about me and my LA Dodgers?
You travel all over the United States. What, man? Cut that out. Look at that. Look at that.
Go Dodger blue.
I figured something California would pop up between you and I. Look at my shirt here. You recognize that? Recognize that insignia?
I can't even see. All the writing is on top. Maybe I should be looking at you from a
here. Let me climb it down a little bit. All right. It's a UCLA blue, man. You should recognize that blue and gold.
You know what? Yeah, of course. I attended UCLA at first. That's the University of Compton, left of Artesia.
Wow. Wow. I hadn't heard that one in a minute.
Long time. But yeah, I'm a UC person. I went to UC Riverside.
Yeah, you did go to Riverside. Yeah, that's right. Wow.
On the IE.
They didn't know what to do with a Texas boy, so I was only out there a couple of years, and they sent me home. You get back. You need to go back. That accent you got. So Squirrel Moment, you guys know, everybody that knows me, I am really, really good with squirrel moments. Mez, thank you for reminding me. Foster, get back on track. Okay. So Victor, you do a lot of traveling around different places, making sure everything gets done because you are the man, 50 grand. And what are some of the areas of the United States that you guys do the most hiring in?
Well, the DMV area, the DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Absolutely, yeah.
Los Angeles is humongous. I mean, there's no LA Unified School District by itself is a massive thing.
It's huge.
And anybody who would like to work in Los Angeles for us can make some money. Dallas should be just as big. We need some really true leaders to come out in the Dallas area because we have Dallas Unified School, which is a large school district. We can't get all those people together. We need more agents. We have Kroger, Firestone, the state employees, the city of Dallas as well. We're opening. We have some dormant accounts all over East Texas that if we just need to train some people in that area and go. I don't know why we don't have enough people in the Dallas area, in the Dallas market. So we need to really get growing on that. But we do grow systematically, about 6 to 8 people at a time. We want to train people, do things correctly in the front end So then we have to bring them back and retrain them or break up bad habits from the back end, because it takes a lot longer to correct bad habits. So we do a really good job with our training, and I think that's what other agents and people that we really look for do a great job are former school teachers. You know, a lot of teachers.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So let me tell you, because even though this is a sales position, we don't want to market any other way, but teachers don't try to sell, they educate, and they sell a whole lot because they're educating folks instead of trying to be that salesy person, if that makes sense. So they do a good job of that. So I think former school teachers, ERAC employees, as enterprise rent-a-car, they do a great job in doing the business development.
Okay, I can understand that.
Mez, I will send you my email address shortly. They can,
Yeah, Mez.
I would love to speak to that person.
Mez and I
to me are a big part of our success. They do a great job. People who have worked with folks in the health field, because you have to have a little empathy when you're talking to folks. If 85% of the people you sit down with in our company are going to ask us about the cancer policy. According to American Cancer Society, 1 out of every 2 male and 1 out of every 3 female are expected to develop some type of cancer. That's not the reason they're asking because they know the statistic. They're asking because they're a part of the statistic. I mean, Fosh, you know my life. My daughter's a part of that statistic.
I know.
She had leukemia, and she went through it in middle school and again in high school. My mom passed away in 2018 of bone cancer. So if I would say, hey, so could you show me this information about the cancer insurance? I would be very, very taken back, just turned off if somebody gave me a sales pitch. We need good people like the ones that talked about school teachers, people who talk about people can have empathy when they're talking about this policy, when they're talking about anything, our life insurance and everything, because people don't want to be sold, but they don't mind buying, and that's a huge difference. And we want people to be
that is an interesting dynamic, isn't it?
Absolutely. And teachers do a phenomenal job of getting people to buy by just educating them on that. It's a phenomenal thing that they do. And I started as a farmer's agent back in '87, and my biggest competition was a lady who was a school teacher, and I was the person that, right out of college, I could sell ice cube to the Eskimo. She was calm, cool, collected, just educating folks, and we would do this every month, and then I watched her actually in the office selling to someone. I changed my whole attitude and said, I'm throwing this out the way. I'm going to sell like she does and educate people. And
exactly. Yeah.
I've never looked back, and I've looked out for teachers ever since. My mom and sister were both educators. And
my mom was an educator for 40 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my dad too. I can't forget my dad. Yeah, he was. Outside of being a pastor, he was he was a school teacher as well.
It didn't help you any. See, it didn't matter.
Wow. I don't know. I was pre-med when I started college, and I don't know how.
The pastor part.
IBM got my attention because when I was coming, we won't talk about this back in the Mesozoic era, but when I was coming out of college, everybody wanted to go work for EDS and IBM, Xerox, and those big old monstrosity companies. So I went to work for IBM. I completely forgot my trajectory and everything that I was going. Everything, all of my focus in college changed, and it was perfect for me. It was absolutely perfect for me, because little did I know that God was setting me up to do this now and on this part of my career. So you and I have been at it long enough. We can tell folks, guys, I want to tell you something that and this is another reason you should connect with Foster and Victor Miller, guys. Miller. Now on Facebook it's just Miler, and I'm like, dude, you forgot an L. But
no, I don't. On my personal Facebook page is a little different. Right?
It's a little different.
Everybody needs to follow me there. Follow me on LinkedIn.
Find him on LinkedIn, guys, and do connect with him, because here's why. Victor and I both help in this networking. What we like to do is, if you have a target job, especially at the company that Victor works for, but if you have a target job at a company, share that job description with us and let's talk. Because Victor and I can tell you, hey, the resume that you're putting together will probably not, or probably will, attract those folks to want to talk with you. And that's an advantage, that actually having someone in your network that is a relation. Oh, Dana's not here, but I'm going to get close to the. I always get close to the screen when I say relationship, Victor, because that's my number one thing. And so, you know what, guys? That's what we're here to do, is to try to help you make sense of these things. We see when you don't have a job, you got a lot of pressure on you, and you want to apply for everything. We call it spray, pray and spray.
Right.
A lot of people, and Mez and I've talked about this before, a lot of people are wanting to apply for things, and when they're applying, they know that they're not going to get a call about that job. They know, you'll say to yourself, "Oh, I can do that job," but you probably know that's not the job for you. Well, if you know ahead of time that that's not the job for you, why are you wasting your time applying for that job?
Right.
Why are you going to spend all that time? So Victor and I can help, and we like helping to do that kind of thing. And
Absolutely.
Mez and I have seen, especially in our Frisco Connect group, shout out to the Frisco Connect folks that are listening. Uh, Vic, we have seen an inordinate amount of teachers coming out of the profession wanting to get into corporate America.
Yeah.
And so, Elisa, yeah, Alyssa's one of them. Alyssa
Okay.
Schutz is one of them, and Maz is talking about her there. Maz will make sure you see
I
her
see.
profile
I
and
just
all that stuff. Actually, uh, Marcel is with us. I see Marcel just popped on there. I was going to shout out to you, Marcel. I didn't know if you were there or not, but I was going to shout out to you anyway, because Marcel has been on this show, and one of our most popular shows when Marcel was with us. And I have got to make sure that you and Victor meet. We are birds of a feather. Marcel's a good Christian gentleman. Victor, he's one of us, and he helps. If he can help, he will help.
good
So,
deal.
yeah, anyway, I'm running my mouth long enough. So I'm glad I'm glad that you're with us today. I'm glad you're telling us about your company. So Vic, there are some things, because you're involved as well as much as I am. You're involved in the network. Are there some things on the top of your head that you just feel as though job seekers should know up front when they're in the job search?
Well, I think people need to realize, even before getting into or interviewing places, what is it that you really, really want, and
Right.
what are your non-negotiables? Right now is a great time for you to ask for what you want, and the if it's not a good fit for you, or they're not a good fit for you, it's okay. I mean,
Hmm.
there's a lot of good things open out there. If you still want to work from home, stop applying for things that are at the office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they're non-negotiable. You know, maybe do halfway do the hybrid thing, but really find out what your non-negotiables really are. This is the time, this is the season right now for employees to be able to say, this is what I want. And let's be realistic with it, because sometimes we act like just those people who have those things, those non-negotiable, when they look for a mate, and they're really so far off. so I need to have a 6'2". You got to make six figures. No, let's look at some of these realistic things. If you really think that you can do better from working at home, or whatever reason is, make that your non-negotiable. Or I'm only going to look for things within a 50-mile radius where I live. So for driving, gas is higher now and everything else. If I go downtown, are you going to be paying for my parking? Try to negotiate some of these things. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
so just kind of look at those things. What's the culture of the company? Those are, I asked it to somebody, and they can give me a real definite answer, or even kind of describe it. What's the tenure of the people, of the longest extended person that worked there? Someone told me 4 months. I'm like, well, what's going on? Why is such a high turnover? The most tenured person is 4 months, and I'm like,
Yeah, that can be it. Yeah, you should be asking questions.
yeah.
Guys, don't hesitate to ask very probing questions of companies. It's a
Can
two-way
you
street.
sit down? Can you sit down with the team? For a half a day or a couple hours. Go in and do a walk in with them.
Yeah.
If what are they trying to hide behind the curtain if they say no?
One thing that I like to do before I interview, of course, it's been a while since I've interviewed, but I have done this in the past. Guys, I will get to my interview maybe even a couple of hours, an hour before time so I can look and see what's going on in and around. How are people? Do they look happy at the company? Are they rushing? What is going on there? And inevitably, when you have a personality like Victor and I, you will meet somebody along the way. God orchestrates everything in our lives, God, and I'm not short on telling you guys that. But you will be able to meet somebody probably, and somebody that work there, and you can ask questions. It's nothing wrong with that. We want to know in today's time. We want to know what we're plugging ourselves into. I want to say hello. I've got a couple of links, a couple of texts from some of the folks from 7-Eleven that have been laid off. So they are with us. Looks like we're going to commercial break. And Vic, I hope you can stay with us. We will be back.
I got to run.
You got to run. I understand. Yes. Michael and I are going to talk it up, man, after commercial break.
Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member,
thank you,
suffering with diabetes. If you've lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Jobseeker Network Radio. We are all over the United States. We are streaming radio, guys. So we stream to other streaming radio channels. There are a lot of you guys that are driving around in cars that are listening to us right now. What we like to do is introduce you guys to people on the second part of the show. We are starting the second part of our show, and it is called Jobseeker Spotlight. So, being that I am the creator of the Career Search Network, big old network all across the United States, I get a chance as a recruiter. I'm not going to tell y'all how many years. I get a chance to meet and develop relationships with a lot of people. There are a lot of people that I see who, I have an attraction to get a chance. Okay, I want to meet this Michael Doherty person. I want to see and hear about. I like the way he presents himself. And, with me being a recruiter for so long, if I like the way Michael presents himself, I'm not going to be the only one. So I want to know what is all going on with this Michael Doherty fellow. And so the guy that you guys see right there on your screen is Michael Doherty. And again, I want to thank you guys. So we have a number of people that work at 7-Eleven that have been laid off. 7-Eleven had a kind of a tragedy yesterday. A lot of people were laid off. So we are the network that's here to help you guys find your next opportunity. Please link in with me. Any of you folks at 7-Eleven that do not know me or do not know what I do or who is this Foster Williams person. So please find me on LinkedIn, connect. Let's talk about what your next opportunity could be. How do you find it? And then how do you act when you get there? Who it is that you need to talk to? How can I find out about what I think I'm interested in? Everybody should have a target company or a multiplicity of target companies in a job search. Okay, so let me get back to Michael Doherty. He is the good-looking fellow below me that you see there. And Michael, guys, is a senior geologist. Now, there can be a lot of, Michael's going to tell us a little bit about what a senior geologist is, what he has done in his career. Michael has been in a number of different, he's an exploration geologist, you guys. Michael, did you live in Abilene at that one time when you were working for LCS?
Yes, I was there for about 3 months, 4 months. It was a lot of fun there. Good people working there.
Good people.
Yes, sir. Explored specific reservoirs along the eastern shelf that really the company was going behind the majors and larger independents and continuing to produce oil that those larger companies couldn't do because of the economics. When the price of barrel gets too low, larger companies, it doesn't meet their economic limit that they've got to have in order to make money on it. Now, it could be a good producing field, but it's all about economics these days. You got to make money while you're got to make money. I don't know of a corporation.
We got to press that button.
Yeah, no company or a corporation really wants to be in the break-even game. You don't get to do a lot when you're break-even.
No, we got to make that money to be able to continue that exploration and doing new things, and the new technologies that are involved and all that stuff. It's kind of business. That's business sense. That's kind of common sense, honestly.
Yes, sir. Technology is really advanced. How the oil field produces and keeps making oil and finds more oil is through technology, historical information. That's what the geologist does. He pulls all that together and finds a place to go drill. Gives it to the engineers where they can go out and do the crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was you and Mez's world. Mez in our comment section over there. She was, I think, 10 years. I think Mez was in oil and gas. So you guys definitely have to meet because Mez has a big network. And you guys might even know some. Who knows? You guys might know some people.
We probably somewhere have overlapped.
So what are some of the companies, what are some of the things that you're thinking about right now, Michael, as you're moving forward in your search? Because there's quite a few applications of what it is that you do.
Yes, I've been focusing on oil and gas industry just due to my resume being 24 years in it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm also looking at the mining industry, whether that's any of the aggregates used in construction, road construction, concrete, those type of industrial uses, commercial uses. I also see that with everybody going to electric, your demand for copper and aluminum for high voltage, you're looking at mineral exploration is really going to kick up. So the geologist needs to go and identify where mining operations can go upon that. So I'm definitely looking at that, both for the aggregate and the mineral. The United States, I guess I'm just not seeing it or haven't really explored the precious metals such as gold and silver. Those I just haven't seen it down in Texas because I believe that the oil industry and a little bit of mining has just the surface mining for the aggregates has just overwhelmed the system for the geologists.
I see.
That's my impression. Now, if I'm missing the precious metals here in Texas as gold or even into the precious minerals as diamonds, my pardon on that. That's my bad.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sitting here thinking as you're talking, I have seen job postings from the Texas A&M Agriculture or Texas A&M Engineering Extension because they get involved in a lot of things in and around reservoir engineering and things like that in the community. Our water reserves, other things that we need to have. Those guys know what we need to have in our environment in order for it to be a safe one, kind of thing. And
Yes, sir.
so, yeah, those are some of the things that I'm interested in when I see. And I have a couple of connections at Texas A&M Engineering. You didn't go to A&M, did you?
No, actually, I've got a master's degree from A&M. Actually, just I
Oh,
completed it while working and seeing uh, seeing a trend with my last company of being unstable, and they did end up being unstable to the point that they're no longer in business.
uh-huh.
So I saw that, so I put myself through the A&M program to get my master's and continued working full time.
Right. Oh, okay, okay. You Aggies out there, I think A&M's even bigger. The system's even bigger than the University of Texas now. I'm a big UT fan, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm yeah, I'm slowly becoming more. I've got so many friends that are Aggies. My ex-wife's and that. Oh, did I say that? Anyway, uh, my ex-wife's a wonderful lady. We have a child that we didn't make go to A&M, but she thought about it though. But
Both UT and A&M are really good schools.
yeah,
They have the very good programs uh, to educate. They really do. Both of them do. You can come out
A&M.
with a lot of information. A little
Uh-huh.
overwhelming. You'll realize coming out A&M or UT that you'll come out with a lot more information that you didn't realize you had.
Uh-huh.
So
Michael, as a just thinking off the top of my head, if you would pull up if you would Google up Texas A&M Engineering Extension, they work with a lot of municipalities and things in what they do, making sure that things need to be the way they are. And, as we were saying, in and around water, water exploration, all sorts of things. Because a geologist, that's so cool. I met a guy named Scott Mitchell, I think his last name was. It was the first geologist that I met years and years and years ago. And he's like, Foster, I don't think there's anything out there for me. And then all of this stuff started popping up. So the application of what you guys know is very important. And there's a lot of things that we didn't think about that companies are doing. And as they're moving forward, as they're, you know, building, as they're exploring different products and things that they pull from natural resources, you'd be surprised.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. M- the we don't have that problem around here in North Texas because we've got large reservoirs, but
Yeah.
smaller communities out in West Texas that don't have access to large reservoirs that like Lake Louisville or Ray Hubbard, those size facilities, they actually go and develop a aquifer to supply water to the community, whether that's a town of 30,000. Uh, there's quite a few. So the geologists and hydrologists, they all work with the engineer to continue supplying water to the communities that aren't near. West Texas doesn't have a lot of lakes out there. You'll
Yeah,
notice
they're
on any
kind of
map, the lakes kind of thin out. So the aquifer is really important, monitoring it, mapping, and seeing the extent of it because there's several zones of fresh water that just are very limited, and droughts and long term droughts can really uh, significantly impact an aquifer
uh-huh.
because wherever it's recharging from may not get enough rainfall, may not have enough supplies. So as you're pulling the water out, that's a big concern supplying the community. So
Uh-huh.
the city engineers and scientists are always looking at how do we keep supplying water to an area.
hmm Have you been interested in oceanography or I won't say marine biology, but things that are in and around ocean exploration and things like that?
Yes, sir. I've always had that in the back of my head, but being a West Texas boy, we
Oh,
don't get
that's
a lot of
right.
ocean going around us.
No.
So it's just what I was exposed to is more of the
Uh-huh.
terrestrial. Uh, Born and raised in Midland, oil field is, I guess, all in everybody's blood out there. Houston is blowing up now because of the oil field and its diversification out there. So,
Mez asked a question earlier. She said, "Are you open to relocation?"
yes, sir. I'm not opposed to relocation if it's a right fit. No, that's always been something in my head. Is
Uh-huh.
uh, previous jobs I did a lot of travel with, but not a
Uh-huh.
complete because of the extent of my area I was working. There wasn't any relocation. Sometimes I wish it would have relocated me to somewhere, but
Yeah.
to make the commute a little easier. But no, I believe the oil field does. It's transitioning. We're looking different, but the oil field has always bounced in the past, bounced geologists and engineers around to wherever they need them, redeploying them. So relocation has always been open on my book.
Another thing that I was thinking about as you were talking was volcanology. I think there's such a word. The volcano systems and some of the companies that are involved in volcanology.
Yes, I know of the science. I know the USGS does quite a bit with
That's it. Yeah.
volcanology.
Uh-huh.
Uh, no, I've got very other than knowing about the science. No, I don't have any experience with it, but geology application can be a how I could apply my experience to volcanology would be very interesting.
Uh-huh.
Interpreting, you know, I know there's volcanologists. Sorry, that's a tongue twister.
That is a
Uh,
tongue twister, isn't it?
yes, I know they use some passive seismic to monitor areas that seem to be active
Uh-huh.
or been dormant for a long period of time,
Uh-huh.
and they're interpreting those signals. And there's been some application of passive seismic to maybe map the magma chamber, uh,
Oh yeah.
extrapolating depth, see if the magma chamber is growing. We've got a potential for an eruption for a long dormant but seismically active volcanoes.
Uh-huh. Michael, do you have a target company or a couple of target companies? I'm always, as a recruiter, I always ask that question.
Oh, well, I've thought more to a more like Pioneer Natural Resources.
Okay.
They've been a
That's
leader
exactly
in
what I was
quite a
thinking
bit.
of. Yeah.
Uh, and I did have some family at one time that worked for Pioneer, and they enjoyed working for Pioneer. Uh, so I like their operating model. The
Uh-huh.
CEOs or last couple of CEOs have been real good at keeping focused on developing their portfolio and expanding their portfolio for their exploration and development. They were one of the top 10, I believe, at one time, if not the top oil producer in the Permian Basin until 2008, maybe just before the pandemic. Seeing their name on a lot of high volume production that they were able to extract from the Permian Basin. And
Permian, boy, you know about that Permian Basin out there and been from Midland, don't you?
yes, sir. But like I say, the technology is really advanced.
It's really
What they're
advanced.
finding, drilling is always the exciting part. Uh, Always going and moving and blowing and going. So the
Uh-huh.
technology is really advanced out there.
Yeah. The Mez said that she was an in-house engineer for them for a while. We're talking about Pioneer Natural Resources.
Oh wow!
And there is about 2 months ago, I had a guest host when we had a day like today where Dana wasn't with us. I had a guest host, a guy by the name of Mike Ray, who you may have met at South Lake Focus Group.
I'm
He's
I'm
one of the
familiar with
leaders.
Mike Ray.
Yeah. Mike has a way of finding companies that do what Pioneer Natural Resources or any company that you might think might have an interest in what you do. he can plug that into a software and find out a whole lot of other companies that do the same thing, or very similar. And it's called Resource Solutions. Is the So make sure and ask Mike when his next demonstration of Resource Solutions is going to be.
Foster, it's very interesting you brought that up, because
Uh-huh.
just yesterday he gave what was supposed to be like a 15-20 minute talk turned into 45 minutes to an hour
Yeah.
on that specific software you're talking about, that database that's out there. And I'm working on getting into that database right now. So thank you for bringing that back up. And it is from the demonstration. It is, like you say, a very useful resource for finding companies.
Yeah. As a recruiter, I think it makes sense. I have been a third party recruiter mainly. I have been a internal recruiter for big companies, and we know that our hiring managers like to hire people that have experience in the arena of which they're working in. And if you can find job seekers, if you can find companies, and you can on Reference Solutions using that software, make sure that you have a membership at your local library. You do not want to try to purchase a Reference Solutions because it's real expensive. But most of the libraries that I know have Reference Solutions, and they have people to show you how to work them. We have Mike Ray, we have Pete Hernandez that goes around and shows people how to use Reference Solutions. Hey, Pete's probably watching. I want to say hello to Pete. Pete is like, I'm his right hand man. Pete is a leader in the network. You'll probably meet him, Michael, as we go forward. I'll make sure that you do.
Looking
And
forward to it.
he can also help you. We can find some stuff that's out there because there are a number. It's not, when we're thinking about you as a geologist, there's a set number of companies that we think about off the top of our heads, but there's so much that we do not know. And a lot of job seekers are finding jobs with companies they didn't even know existed, you know? And how we find those companies, there's a couple of ways of doing that. Networking and talking to people and finding out what's going on one way, but then Reference Solutions, you can take the application of that software and find out stuff you didn't even know existed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It definitely can. It's very user friendly, and that's kind of the good side and the bad side is you can do search, but learning how to do it, Mike Ray can teach you very well. I saw that
Mhm.
on his demonstration.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mike Ray, if you're listening, we love you, brother. Keep at it. I like to make fun with Mike's about 5'10", or yeah, he's six. What am I saying? Five. He's 6'10". Mike went to Old Dominion University, and they're known for basketball. So, Mike is my buddy. He's the kind of guy that when you're out in the public, you want to be friends with that guy.
Yes, sir. I can see that. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So, hey, what is the best way for companies? We've got a lot of companies that are listening to us right now talk about different things, and everybody's got a network, and everybody tries to share. In this network, we endorse everybody to share. What is the best way to get in contact with Michael Doherty?
Uh, you I have a LinkedIn profile, and I believe I'm hoping Mez is showing sharing it with everybody there. That
Oh, she will.
LinkedIn profile has my contact information on it, the email address and phone number, and you can easily message me there. I've always got LinkedIn going, both on my phone and computer at home, so I usually respond fairly quickly. That
And Mez says it has been shared. Oh yeah, I know that Mez is probably best in this network of doing things to help folks.
well, thank
And
you,
you
Mez.
guys and people, you guys can see how Michael spells his last name right there on the screen, right below Michael. That is cool.
Yes, a little Irish going there.
A little bit, isn't
Yes, sir. So, just as a side note, a squirrel thing.
Go,
Down in
I love it.
Texas, down in Texas, I have difficulty people understanding how to spell my last name.
Uh-huh.
Trip to Boston, my wife went on. She went to sign it in and spell the name for the hotel clerk there, and
Uh-huh.
she goes, "No, Doherty's like Smith up here."
Yeah,
There's
that
a
won't be
lot of
any
them up there.
problems. Yeah, it won't be any problems with Doherty up there.
No,
I
sir.
went to school. I went to school when I was at UCLA. I went to school with another Michael Doherty. I don't know if I ever told you that, but Michael was an athlete. He wasn't. He wasn't a geologist.
Well,
I'm a science nerd, so I really, really like listening to you and
thank you.
Mez when you guys get into the when you guys get in the weeds about oil exploration and all that kind of stuff. Because there's some stuff that you guys know that is really, really cool to me.
It really is fun to listen to someone who's excited about what they've done, their history. It really is, and I've had a good time speaking with you, seeing how you get excited about different things
Yeah.
you've done. Also,
Oh yeah. Did you go to Midland Lee or did you go to Midland High?
I'm a Lee Rebel.
You're a
Lee
Lee
Rebel,
rebel.
yes, sir. I do not think Lee is even around. I think they've changed the name now.
Did
So
they?
yes, yes, sir. There was I've lost touch with the news articles that were going around for a while, but yeah, there was talk of changing the Lee Rebels mascot and
Oh
everything.
man.
So I was one of the last ones.
Yeah. Yeah, the mascot in this day and time where everybody's offended, my
Yes,
goodness.
sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Matt says that the EPA, and I forgot about that was one of the companies, one of the first companies when I first got out of college. Of course, IBM pulled me out of college, but that was one of the first companies that reached out to me while I was still in college, about to graduate.
well,
Environmental Protection Agency.
they're always looking for Okay, I thought they'd be more engineering. Did not. I'll look into that. Thank you, Mez.
Yeah, because there's so many things that they get involved with in soil conservation and all sorts of things that I can totally see that the EPA would probably be an area of interest for us, at least something that you can go and research.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely will
Absolutely.
take any advice and any pointers that you and Mez have been able to provide. She also talked about state governments are always looking as well. No, so
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, Mez has been in your industry. She knows she knows the industry that you've been in and the application that she's had in her time. And as I was saying, she's got a big network. Mez is from Rhode Island, so maybe they wouldn't have so much problem with Doherty up there. I don't know.
No, maybe not.
I think Mez is no. I do know another Catherine DeLong is up in Rhode Island. Little Rhodey. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
beautiful
Meg's
area.
Mess. I was also at EPA Boston. Oh my goodness, she's been all over the place. Mez is one of the smartest individuals I've ever met. It's incredible. She has a biochemical engineering degree, and when you meet her, it's just so cool. There's so many things that you can talk about. So
Oh
I'm glad
wow.
that you guys. I'm glad that you guys are getting a chance to to go Rhode
Go
Island.
right.
Absolutely. And any of you other folks, guys, if you are in Rhode Island and you're driving around in the car listening to us or you are watching us, reach out to Mez. You will find her on LinkedIn under Mez, but she is Meg Rose Caterio. And you guys, you definitely want to link in with Mez just on I like to call it in the spirit of networking. I have met so many people that you're like, well, I wonder why Foster, why are you introducing me to this person? Guys, you never know who people know. You never know who
Good.
God has crossed their life with. That's why I love this networking thing. I do. I call myself a net weaver. So Michael, locally, where do you live? What city are you in?
Uh, I'm in the DFW metropolis here,
Uh-huh.
but specifically, I live in Louisville.
Okay,
It's
okay.
up there closer to Denton than Dallas or Fort Worth.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
I never asked you that. And all the time I've known you, I've never asked you that.
but yeah, I'm for 20 years. I've always lived there. 20 going on 20 years. Wow.
Oh wow.
So been a lot of changes up there.
Yeah, I hear some music, so our time is drawing nigh. We will be here next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel. And Michael, let's you and I not lose contact with each other. Let's
No, sir.
investigate some things.
Thank you for having me on, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County.
Hey, Jill, congratulations on your son getting into the college of his dreams and with a full scholarship, too. Yes, we are so proud of him. You know, I have to be honest. I'm a bit worried about our daughter getting into